Hello, I'm Dave Knoll and welcome to A Wheel Thing TV. This week we're checking out the Range Rover Sport HST. It's a limited edition with Jaguar's supercharged 3-litre V6. Range Rover Sport HST, clad in a colour called Zanzibar. It's a brownish, chocolatey brown. Take your pick. It's a very unusual colour to say the least. Very stereotypical Range Rover design with that angular wedge shape with a large windscreen tapering back towards the rear, and of course LED lighting both front and rear, with the noticeable addition of the extra body kit. As you can see, a little bit of flare down on the bottom side there, and of course this car has been taken off-road, hence the dirt that you'll see on the back of the car there. It really does filter down onto that window, and if you're going to go off-road into a gravel track, it's probably worth giving that a bit of a squirt and a wipe every now and then. Around to the front, we've got vents up in the bonnet, and certainly that very, very familiar nowadays Range Rover look. Being the technologically advanced car that it is, the Range Rover Sport has this little jog dial here, which actually you need to press to bring it up in the first place. But it then gives you the options of different driving modes, and if we switch over to the screen here, you'll see how if we move it around, you've got sand, you've got various driving, you've got hill descent off, mud ruts, grass, gravel, snow, and then back to normal on dynamic, which just gives you a little bit more of a sporty feel. And as you can see on this LCD screen, we've got some red lighting that comes on and changes the whole look of the design there. Certainly a interesting way of bringing technology to the fore inside a motor vehicle. Transmission selection is very, very simple. We've got this fighter jet style joystick here. There is a little lever just on the front of it. Press that, and all you need to do from here is just basically pull it back after you've pressed it for drive. As you can see, it comes up on there. If we now then press it forward, it will rotate through into reverse. Press that little button. How complicated is that? Although the Range Rover Sport HST weighs 2.5 tonnes minimum, it's actually quite nimble, quite tight, and I think a lot of that has to do with the technology underneath. It feels like it's got the torque vectoring system to help it straighten up, especially in the tighter turns. It actually really tucks in nicely with basically no effort whatsoever. The height adjustable suspension, well, it's quite taut on the normal settings. Adjustable really only if you're going to take it off-road and do some serious work. And of course we know that the Range Rover has a fantastic off-road pedigree. Yes, there is a TV inside the Range Rover HST, and it's designed on a lenticular style, those funny little ridgy kind of things you used to have as kids. And as you pan over, you can see that it changes from the TV over to the actual normal screen that we have. In this case, it ensures that only the driver can see that, and the passenger can see that. Yes, they do get headphones. Dashboard small, cleanly laid out. As you can see, there's very, very few buttons of any nature whatsoever. It's all operated via the touchpad and obviously the screen itself. Home button, which is pretty much where we are right now. Settings, and takes you through to a very basic setup. And if we go through, you've got parking. You've even got an outside camera, which in this case shows us outside on the rear of the car, I think. And if we move over here, this is our little TV button, as we described earlier. Music, phone, and navigation. Down to the climate control, seats, and if we go back to our home button momentarily and bring up one of those, as you'll see, it then comes up the actual seat zone, and then you can up and down for your temperature there. Very, very simple in regards to how all that works. Down here, your drive modes. As we go off-roading, we even have our ride height adjustment, speed limiter for the cruise control, electric parking brake, and on the inside we do have our USB port auxiliary and a little chiller. As you can see, it's turned on, button just there, and I can assure you that just in there it is very, very cold. Big 21-inch wheels on the Range Rover, and as you can see, we've got two 7.5 by 45 by 21 Cross LX Sports from the Continental factory over in Germany. Big red Brembo brakes, and needed with this 3-litre V6. It will get up and honk when you give it a fairly decent prod. The 3-litre engine, well, it's not the best thing around town. It'll drink at around 14 to 15 litres per 100 kilometres. That's why this car has a 100-litre tank. It'll take 98 RON preferably, and you know, if you take it off-road, it will of course use a fair bit of juice. But on the other side of the coin, it accelerates like nothing on earth considering the size of the car. Imagine what it would do with the big supercharged V8. But it has some of the best brakes that you'll find in a car of this size. Thanks to Brembo, of course. At 148,000 plus on-road costs, it's a lot of money for this particular car, and quite frankly, it's a middle of the range car. It just, for me, didn't quite add up. I felt disconnected, not emotionally engaged. Well, that's just me. You have to try it out for yourself. Check it out at rangerover.com.au. For A World Thing TV, I'm Dave Canole.